and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have a very large book haul for you. I think these are all romance books, but there are a lot of them. I know I mentioned a couple months ago I was getting my wisdom teeth out, and I bought myself a ton of books after that, you know, as like a get well gift to myself, I guess. And I also just bought a ton of books in general. But anyway, I have 3 huge stacks of books here, so we are just going to get right into it. So firstly, I went to Costco, which I don't do very often, probably like once a year. But I went and I wanted to check out their books, and I got a couple. So the first one I got was Too Late by Colleen Hoover. This one was $15 Canadian. And this one I thought this was a different book, which is why I picked it up. I thought this was the one she wrote with Tarryn Fisher. I don't know why, because it very clearly does not say Tarryn Fisher on the cover. But when I was in the store, that's what I thought this was, and that was why I picked it up. But I don't know, I haven't really heard anything about this one or seen it around, but I guess I'm gonna read it now because I bought it. But I did pick that one up at Costco. Then I also got Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. This one was $14. And I didn't necessarily need to buy anything at Costco because I know that if it's popular enough to be at Costco, it will end up on Book Outlet. And so I try not to purchase it when it's still full price. But I do want to support places like Costco bringing in romance books, so I did want to pick a couple things up. So I picked this one up. I don't have it yet. I read the first one in the series and thought it was okay, but I do in general like Tessa Bailey, so I'm hoping that this one's a little bit better. So I picked that one up as well. And then I got this one, which again, I try not to buy duplicates of books that I already have just because it's a different cover or whatever. But they had The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, and what suckered me in on this one was that it says new edition with exclusive bonus content. And I will say, the bonus content is literally 3 pages. It's probably not worth buying a whole new copy of the book. But again, for me, this one was a little bit more symbolic, I guess you could say, because I remember when I bought the brick of The Wall of Winnipeg and Me that I have, and it was if you had told me back then that this book would have been on Costco shelves in 2 or 3 years, I would have never believed you. And so again, that's something that I want to support, is especially indie authors getting published to the point that they're selling at Costco. That's insane. And so I did want to pick this one up, and I just thought the cover was really cute. I do really love this book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So I did pick this up, even though I own the indie copy already. Next, I purchased Reckless by Elsie Silver. I love this series. I have a whole reading blog for the first 3 books. If you want, I will link it down below. And I love this. I have not read this yet. I know it came out 2 months ago at this point, but I've been waiting for the perfect time, you know, when I'm gonna have no interruptions and I can actually just dedicate 2 whole days to reading this, because I want to soak it all in and enjoy it and not have to get up after every chapter to do something or something. So I've been saving this for the perfect occasion, and it just hasn't come around yet. But I am so excited for this one and the next one to come out. Like I said, I love these books. I'm definitely still in my small town cowboy era. You'll notice that a lot with a lot of these books, that is what I was shopping for when I purchased these. But really, really excited to get to that one. Like I said, I love the rest of the series. Then these were 2 that I bought when I bought the Wisdom Teeth books, and this is Protecting You by Claire Kingsley and Fighting for Us by Claire Kingsley. This is the first and second book in the Bailey Brothers series. I think this is just a little sort of introductory story. I don't know that this is actually a full romance, but I love the covers of these. I think these are so cute, especially this one. I love that house and the pumpkins. I don't know, I just think those are so pretty. And like I said, really into the small towns lately, so really excited to have these, and the whole rest of the series is gorgeous as well. But I'm trying not to buy a whole series if I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. So I just bought the first 2 for now and figured Christmas is obviously coming and whatever, so I can get the others then if I do like it. Then I got Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow. I haven't read this one yet either. I know the second book in this series just came out, but I love the cover of this, and this is small town as well. I can't remember if this is a cowboy or not, but I know it's small town, so I'm excited about that. Like I said, really, really loving that. If you have any small town recs, leave them below because I will absolutely check them out. Then I got 2 more books by Melanie Harlow. I really love these covers. These are her special edition covers, I guess. And I got Drive Me Wild and Make Me Yours. This is another small town series that she has. I haven't read anything from her before, so I maybe shouldn't have bought so many books by her, but I've heard so many good things. So I'm optimistic about these. And the covers are really cute. I do want to get the other two because I'm always scared with covers like this that they're just going to stop selling them and I'm not going to know and then I'm not going to have them. Then a couple months back, Sophie Lark announced that her Brutal Birthright series had been picked up by a publisher and they were going to be changing the covers. So I ordered Broken Vow, which is my favorite one in the series. I already have Brutal Prince, and to be honest, those are the only two I really felt the need to purchase. I did think about getting Stolen Air because I did enjoy that, but to be honest, I don't see myself going back and rereading that. So I did just get Broken Vow because I wanted it to match the copy of Brutal Prince that I have. So I picked this up. It's just the new covers. The only thing that's changed is the font has changed and the pictures, like the saturation is higher. And that's really the only difference. So they're not super, super different, but I did want them to match, especially like height-wise. They're probably going to change that. So I picked this one up just before it went out of print, and I'm excited to have that again with cowboy boots. I really love that cover. This one was just like randomly on sale on Amazon one day. This is Tempt by Melanie Harlow. This is not the first book in this series. I don't know what series this is or what number this is, but it was like super cheap. It was on sale for like $9 or something one day, so I just decided I would order it while it was on sale and eventually get to the rest of the series, obviously, but for now, this is the only one I have. I don't love this cover. This is like the discreet cover, and I'm one of those people who I hate that they're just like sticking flowers on things and calling it discreet. Like, I don't mind something like this, where it's like it actually tells you kind of something, like, you know, this is going to be like a cowboy romance on a ranch. Like, it tells you a little bit about it. This doesn't tell me anything, right? And so I don't love that, but like I said, it was super cheap, so I picked it up. Then I got Charlie, Love, and Cliches by Ella Mays. I love to love Jason Thorne and to hate Adam Connor, so I wanted to get her newest release, and I was super excited because I actually ordered the original books that I have from her. I have all four of her other books in the UK Simon & Schuster editions, and since Book Depository kind of like closed, I can't order the UK editions anymore. But I ordered this on Amazon, and it came Simon & Schuster published, so like I don't know, and it says it's the UK version on here. Like, I have no idea how this ended up on Amazon here and like at a regular price. But I somehow got this edition. I don't know if everybody's getting it, but I thought that was cool. Really excited about this. Like I said, I loved her other books, so really excited to get to this one. Next, I've talked about these books in some of my recent wrap-ups. I bought the, what is this called? Trails of Sin series by Pam Godwin. I read the first book. All of her series, the first book is free on Amazon as an ebook if you want to download it. So I had downloaded this first book from Amazon a while back and just kind of had it sitting there just in case I ever wanted to pick it up. And I just randomly decided one day I was going to read it, and I was instantly obsessed. Like, I loved it. I immediately ordered the entire series because I was like, these are so good. I want to own all of them. I have since read the second one, and I didn't love it as much, but I did really, really like the first one. Definitely check the trigger warnings for these. Pam Godwin always writes really dark stuff, but I got all three, so I have the Knotted, Buckled, and Booted, which is the one I have not yet read, but I do really like these so far. These are cowboy romances, like I said, very dark, very Pam Godwin, but cowboys. Then I picked up A Mile High and The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I was so back and forth on these because, again, I'm in my small town era. I don't love the city, so like these covers don't necessarily appeal to me. I will say this cover in particular looks 100 times better in person than it does on the Amazon website or even like on camera right now. Like, the saturation on this is like so high. It is so like bright and colorful, and it just like does not look like that online at all. This one looks pretty much like it does online. It's decent. I do like that they're matte though. I definitely appreciate that. But I got those two. I've read the first one. I did enjoy it, and I think I'm going to love the second one, so I am glad that I purchased these. Then these two I kind of regret purchasing, but not really. I probably would have bought them eventually anyway, but I did buy Blood Orange and Night Wolf by Karina Halley. These are part of the Black Sunshine type series. I have no idea what this is called, but there's like little duets within the series. Like, I don't know if the series as a whole has a name or if they're all just little duets that are on their own, but I think this is like a standalone, and then this is the first one to another duet that I think the second one just came out to, and I have the first duet. So these are like vampire romances. This one obviously is probably like a werewolf, but I did not know these were on Kindle Unlimited, and so that is why I purchased them, and then I found out they were on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm kind of mad about that. But I keep saying I want to read a vampire book, and I keep not doing it, but like I feel like these ones are going to be really good because I've heard some good things. So I'm excited to get to these. Maybe during spooky season I will finally pick these up. Then I placed a book outlet order, which I don't do too often anymore, but they did have a bunch of books that I wanted, so I did place the order, obviously. The first one I got is Shacking Up by Helena Hunting. I love Helena Hunting. I buy all of her books whenever I find them. As you can see, this whole shelf behind me almost here is Helena Hunting books. But I didn't have this one yet. I have read it from my library, but I had yet to have a paperback. So I found this one, picked it up, super cheap. This next book is like the main reason I placed the order, and that is What the Hex by Jessica Clare. If you watched my I Read 10 Witchy Romance Books video from last year, you know that Go Hex Yourself, which is the first book to this one, was my favorite out of all 10 that I read. I really, really loved it. And so I really was looking forward to this one, which is, like I said, the second book in the series. It follows a different couple, but I am so excited to get to this year. It is like this perfect spooky season, like Halloween Town vibes, cozy Halloween romance. Like, I just loved that first book, and so I'm really excited and hopeful about this book. And then I got this book, which is The Trials of Apollo, Book 5, The Tower of Nero by Rick Riordan. I have the first 2 books in this series. I haven't read them yet, but I do want to collect them all. This one just came out last year, I think, so I figured that's why Book Outlet was getting a ton of them in. So I did order this paperback while they had it. It was super cheap, like $5, and so I figured I would get it. Next, if you have watched my videos, you know I've already read this. This is Live in Love by Lauren Akins. This is Thomas Rhett's wife. If you listen to country music at all, you've probably heard of Thomas Rhett. If not, you have probably still heard Die Happy Man. He is the person that sings that, and that's like his wife and his family there. But I listened to this as an audiobook from my library, absolutely loved it, gave it 5 stars, but I did not realize that I was missing so much by not having the physical book. There are full color photos in this on like practically every page. Like, there is so much in here that I did not get to see when I was listening to the audiobook, obviously. Like, and so I'm gonna have to go back and reread this because there's just so much in here that I missed out on listening to the audiobook. So I'm really glad that I got this from Book Outlet. Then I ordered this one. This was kind of like the one thing I tossed in for free shipping, which I said I wasn't going to do anymore, but it was just one book, so I was like, whatever. And this is Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. I have the hardest time with those 2's names. And this one, they wrote The Roughest Draft, which I did like, and this one is like their second adult romance that they've written together. But I haven't heard the best things about this since I purchased it. I didn't really hear anything before I purchased it, but after I purchased it, I started seeing people saying that it wasn't so great and a lot of 3-star reviews. So I'm cautiously optimistic for this. I'm hoping it's good because I did enjoy The Roughest Draft, but I don't know. Hopefully it works out, but whatever. I got that one. Then I got When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I loved this book. It's a small town. It sounds like it takes place in Rome, but it's actually Rome, Kentucky. So it's just a small town. It's I think she's a pop star. She's famous for, yeah, she's a pop star whose car breaks down on this guy's front lawn. He's super grumpy. It's very, like, the small town is very Gilmore Girls-esque. Like, all the neighbors are super nosy and in everybody's business and trying to set this guy up, and, like, it's very cute, very small town, very Gilmore Girls, like I said. And I really loved it. I just read the second book in the series. I loved it as well, so I was excited to finally get this off of Book Outlet. And this was another one that was like sort of the reason I made the purchase. This is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I tend to avoid Kennedy Ryan's books, to be honest, because she writes very emotional, like heavy stuff, and that's not something I particularly enjoy. But I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and so I was like, you know what, I will give it a shot and hopefully like it. I was surprised. I thought this was indie published, and I think that's why I was so surprised to see it on Book Outlet, but it's not. It's traditionally published, and this is regular $33 Canadian, which is a lot. I only paid like $10 for this from Book Outlet. It's the hardcover, which they do have the paperback now. I don't know if it's still in stock, but I've definitely seen the paperback come in stock since I bought this. But I am excited to give this a shot whenever I am in the mood to read something a little bit depressing, maybe, which never really happens, but we'll see. Then I bought Jasper Vale, and I'm actually currently reading this. As you can see, I'm a little bit more than halfway through. By the time this is up, I'm probably done it, but I just like wasn't picking this up for whatever reason on Kindle Unlimited. Like, I just wasn't. I loved the first 2 books in this series. The third one I thought was okay, and I was kind of worried that the series was going downhill, and picked this one up. Like I said, I've been reading it. I am glad I purchased it. Don't know what kind of rating I'm looking at right now. I'm kind of back and forth. But I am, like, enjoying it. Like, it's not bad or anything. But I bought that one. And then I bought Into the Tide by Laura Pavlov. I love the cover of this. This green is, like, my favorite, like, book cover ever. Like, I love the, like, mossy, muted greens. And so that was a big draw to this. This is another small town romance. I've never read anything from this author. This is the Cottonwood Cove series. So I'm excited to get to this. I'm excited to get to all these, honestly. Like, there's so many books here that I have been so excited to read and just haven't gotten around to. Then I got Love Me Today by A.L. Jackson, and this one I saw on Instagram a lot from the author and just like different people posting about it. And this is a cowboy romance, and like, again, you know me and the cowboys, like, love them. And so I picked this one up when it came out and haven't read it yet. I don't really know anything other than that it is a cowboy, but that was pretty much all I needed to know, so I'm excited to get to that one as well. This one is my favorite cover possibly ever. This is Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. I was actually going to buy like the special edition, like discreet cover, because I don't love people on my covers, but I love the colors of this. Like, it is so pretty. And even like on the back, there's like this like picture of like a highway. Like, I love that. I think it's so, so pretty. And so I'm really glad I purchased this edition. I haven't read this one either, and I haven't really heard anything about this one since it came out. But I think it's small town. It's got to be small town, right? Like, that screams small mountain town. So I'm excited for that. Then we got That Kind of Guy by Stephanie Archer. I'm glad I purchased this when I did because the price went up like $5 afterwards, and it hasn't gone down since on the entire series. They all went up $5. This is the first one because I've been trying not to buy like the whole series when I haven't even read the first one. This is the first book in the series. It is a small town one, I know for sure, because that's what I was looking for when I was shopping. And it is a fake fiance book, which sounds interesting. So we'll see. I feel like the girl on this looks like Lucy Hale. Is that just me? I don't know. I feel like that's what she looks like. But anyway, excited to get to this series. Then I picked up The Edens, A Legacy Story by Devney Perry. This is just like a tiny little novella. This is, I think, the parents' story, I'm pretty sure. So I'm excited to get to this. I still need to buy the Christmas in Quincy novella. I've read it from my library, but I never purchased it. And I need that to complete my collection, but maybe I'll get that for Christmas this year. Who knows? But I just picked this up. It was super cheap, like $10 or whatever, because it's a tiny little book. And then the last two books I got are hockey romances. I got Consider Me by Becca Mack and Play With Me by Becca Mack. I am so excited for these. I love hockey romances, especially in the winter, and that's like right around the corner probably. And so really excited to have these. I've heard a lot of good things and the blurbs sound really interesting. So I'm hoping I really, really love these. And so that is all the books that I have bought since the last time I did a book haul. I'll probably have one in the not so distant future because I'm going to the used book sale again soon. But anyway, that is everything for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you next time.